we'll be here today to just obviously speak about it, give you a bit of a backstory as into kind of, why we built the incident module, getting started. We'll do a live step-by-step guide into how to essentially use it, how to implement it, how to get the best out of it for you and your team, of course. Then, of course, we'll go over some practical use cases and benefits into kind of, why different companies would need this, why specifically your company would need this. And then, of course, we will end with a live Q&A with us at the end, where we can kind of, open up the floor, ask any questions, and kind of, go from there and just see how things go. We will just wait a short while for people to join. And of course, if you see on the right, we do have a bit of a chat function. Or if you have any questions or anything like that, please, of course, do feel free to pop that in. We will do our best, obviously, to answer all questions. But as I mentioned, we'll have the Q&A at the end. And of course, after this webinar is being recorded, we will send it out to all of you, especially the ones that aren't live here today. And we will also, of course, be available if you did need a personal walkthrough, with us or any members of the team as well, to kind of get this actually implemented for you guys as well. So yeah, look, we'll probably get things going in a short while. Hopefully everybody has joined, but yeah, so nice to meet you all. So my name's Liam. I'm the account executive here based in London. Essentially my role is to kind of, speak to companies very similar to like yourselves to, understand the challenges that they are facing with their staffing schedules and so on, and just essentially get things all set up. And also today we have Parim, who is in our support team. He will be here to kind of answer any live questions as well, and maybe at the end as well. And of course, I will hand you over to Katie to introduce herself and just give you a bit of a run through as into why and how we built the incident module reporting.
Thank you, Liam. And hi, everyone. I'm Katie. I'm product manager in Parim, actually from Estonia. And I've been working for the past few months very closely with our designers and developers to bring you incident reporting. So I'm very excited to share this with you today, even more excited to hear your feedback once you start using it yourself, as that helps us improve our product and this functionality even further. So before we actually get to the walkthrough of how incident reporting works, let me just give you a little bit of a background story of why and how we built this. So incident reporting has been quite a popular ask for a while now. And in a recent survey that we ran, we learned that over 90% of you reported that incident reporting is part of their regular operations. So this is quite a big amount of you. So this piqued our interest. We were curious, maybe we can help you reduce frictions in your workflows. So we ran a survey within our community to learn more about how you currently handle incident reporting and what are you struggling with most. We had more than 100 companies share their experience and insight with us, and what we learned was quite interesting. So firstly, we learned that roughly 2/3 of you are still using manual methods such as spreadsheets, email, pen and paper to report incidents. And this can cause quite a lot of administrative workload. For the remainder of 1/3 of you, it is split quite equally between custom-built or internal tools and specialized software, which we learned later on can both be quite cumbersome and in sometimes much more complicated than what you actually need. In addition to this, you also shared your biggest challenges with incident reporting. So I would like to share the top 3 that came out from the survey. The first one that you shared was that separate software tools used for incident reporting cause duplicate work for you, which makes it more complicated for your employees to report incidents because there's more friction in the process when they have to switch to a new tool or learn a new tool. And very often, the employees might not be as digitally fluent, so this is all extra complication in the process of reporting. The second biggest challenge mentioned was around centralized data gathering and sharing. And this is especially relevant in case of manual methods such as pen and paper reporting. Unless someone from the operations or administration side goes to the location and brings the incident reports back to the office, there is actually no visibility into what has happened in the recent shifts. And this can be quite problematic in some cases. Additionally, even if all the reported incidents are gathered, then these pen and paper forms are very hard to efficiently summarize and analyze, which creates additional administrative burden. And lastly, the third challenge that you highlighted was getting buy-in from your employees and making sure that everyone follows process, meaning that incidents are reported as soon as it's possible and safe to do so, and in as much detail as possible. But we later heard in interviews that if the reporting process isn't really easy, that you have to navigate between multiple tools or find separate links to do the reporting in, and there might be additional frictions or things that are not working out for you, then people tend to postpone reporting incidents or not do it altogether. And this is dangerous for your business. So all of this information was quite a good input for our decision making when and helping us realize that Parim is actually in a great spot to help you with incident reporting and streamlining the process. So we believe we can help you with three key aspects. Firstly, we can drive adoption through familiarity, because incident reporting in Parim happens in the same screen where your employees are already clocking in and out of shifts. So they know the interface, it's right there in the same place and easy for them to use. Secondly, we can simplify reporting and save time for your employees, because all of this happening in one system means that we already have certain information, such as the client, the location, the event, if relevant, that we can automatically add to the incident report. If the reporting was done somewhere else, this would all have to be filled in manually every time. And lastly, we can help with seamless information flow, so that whenever your employee reports an incident on site, it can be instantly accessible to the operations or administrative side as well, all within the same Parim ecosystem. So that is the little background story, how we came and why we decided to build incident reporting in Parim. Now let's get to the good part. How does it actually work? I will take you into the Parim app in a second, but here's a brief context. So this is the clocking screen that all your employees are very well familiar with. And this is where incident reporting happens. So when incident reporting is enabled, there is this call to action to report an incident, which opens the reporting form. The incident reporting form always starts with the 5 default fields: title, severity, category, which I will share more about in a minute, incident date and time, and photos. So these are always there for every incident report form. Everything after that can be customized. I have an example of 3 questions being added here, but all of these can be set up by you the way you want, with as many questions as you need. Now, let's see how you would actually set this up inside Parim. So this is the admin portal of Parim. We are in Incidents tab. And once you get access to incidents, where I would suggest you start is actually the Settings tab. So the Settings tab is visible to super admins, so they are responsible for setting up the incident reporting form. You can see at the top here that incident reporting is currently disabled. This is the default status when you get access. And this means that your employees are not currently seeing the option to report an incident yet. So you have enough time to set up the form just the way you want it, and then you can enable it for your employees to see. Let's start from the bottom of the page, incident categories. I showed you in the last slide the 5 default questions at the start of the incident report form. One of those was incident categories. So incident categories is a way for you to identify what type of incident took place and sort those reports easily. When you first get access to incident reporting, we have created a set of sample categories here for you, but feel free to delete them or edit them yourself to make them fit your workflows and needs. You can also add new ones. The categories have a name, so that is the main incident type that took place. And you can additionally add description to help your employees make the correct choice and choose the correct incident category. The question in the form appears as a single select question, which means that your employees will choose one of those answers only. And that is it about incident categories. So let's move on to the best part, custom fields. So these are all the questions after the first default questions in the incident report form. As I mentioned before, you can edit, add, customize those as you wish and as you need. The custom fields always show up in the incident report form in the same order as they are in this table here, but you can easily reorder them by the arrows on the right side of the table. Let's, for starters, take a look at the questions that we have added for you here in advance. So the first custom field we have is who was involved, question for your employees, and a clarification to choose all that apply. So this is a multi-select question, meaning that your employees can choose one or many of these given options from in the form. Next up, we have a question where the emergency service is called. This is a yes/no type of question, meaning that the only option that they can choose between is a yes or no as an answer. And we have also made this question a required question. This means that the incident report form cannot be saved without this question having an answer. And lastly, we have a description custom field added here, which is a text field. And for text fields, you can actually choose between short and long form answers. This one here is long form, as makes most sense for a description field. In addition to these questions that we have here at the moment, you can also add a date and time type of question, or then a number field question. So let's say I want to add a question about if emergency services were called, give me a police badge ID. Let's assume that the IDs are always numbers only, so that's when the number question might be a good fit. And it doesn't make sense to make it a required question because it's not always relevant. Let's place it after the emergency services question, so it makes sense contextually as well, and voila, here it is. So that is all the different types of questions you can add to the incident reporting form. Now, let's assume that we have set up all the questions and incident categories just the way we want to. Technically, we are ready to enable incident reporting for everyone. But before you do that, I do suggest to review two system settings as well. So the first part that we have is role permissions. With incident reports, the incidents that have been reported, there's a simple rule that if the person, the administrative side, sees the shift that took place, then they also see the incidents that were reported during that shift. So location supervisors, for example, see the incidents reported in their location shifts. But additionally, here you can control who can edit the reported incidents. I will show you how editing works later. But what I want to share right now is that super admins can always edit incidents, but then you have control whether location supervisors or managers should be also able to edit them. Let's say that we want managers to edit them, then we can just enable it. And that is that. And lastly, we have notification settings. So we want to stay informed when new incidents come in and changes happen with incidents. We have notification settings for all these different roles separately, but we have three types of notifications for incidents. The first one is when a new incident is reported on a shift. So this is gives you a notification when the incident is reported and saved for the first time. The second one is for incident status updated. This is great if you are not the person responsible for working on the incident, but if you want to stay in the loop and keep track that incidents are actually being escalated and closed in a reasonable time manner. So you would only get notifications when status is changed in the incident. And the last one, incident information updated, is great if you are actually the person responsible for following up on the incidents. So this gives you notifications for every change in the incident report. And the person changing it could be either a different manager, for example, or also the employee themselves who reported the incident, because during the ongoing shift, they can still add additional information to the incident report. This notification will help you stay in the loop of with all of this. Additionally, just to mention, every user can control their personal notification settings under their profile as well, but this is kind of the company-wide settings. Now that we have gone over the settings as well, we feel confident that we are happy with the incident report form that we have set up. Let's enable this so that employees can start reporting incidents. Liam, why don't you show us how you report an incident now?
Thank you very much, Kati, for that very comprehensive overview of why and how to use it in the back end. So let me share my screen, guys, and show you officially how it works. So I hope everyone can see my screen now. So of course, this is on the iOS version of our app. So as you can see, we have our shift here. So we can see that we've been in for 41 minutes. And we can see obviously the clock history, we've got our check-in and so on, just like a normal shift would be. So what we want to do, as you can clearly see in the yellow writing, report incident. So all we do, very simply, click on that. And as you'll see, as we've gone over, there's all the custom fields there. So what we will do is we will put this in. So let's just say there was a poor assault here, assault on staff. The severity, again, low, medium or high, we'll say this was medium. And the category, again, these are all the custom fields as well. So we will say that was criminal activity. And we've also got the time and date here. So of course we can do this. We'll say it happened, 20 odd minutes ago. And then we've also got the photos here. So we can obviously take a photo if it's live. So we can just take a photo like that. We can use this. And we can also go into the gallery as well. So if there's any other photos, we can just see, we'll see the two cats fighting there. We can also put who was involved. Again, the custom field here. So we know it was a member of public, site venue staff, and of course the security had to get involved. So we save that. And also what we have is in the custom fields, even if somebody did save that, we can see they cannot proceed until all required fields must be filled in. So of course these cannot be empty. Where the emergency services called, we'll say no because they didn't need to be. We've also got the police badge ID here. And of course, we've got a bit more of an extensive field here. So we can see 3,000 characters. We can just fill this in here. So we'll keep it simple now. And we'll just do that. Once that's all done, we can see all this here. We can just save that. Very, very simple. They can obviously go back and view the reported incidents that they've reported, and they can edit these as well. They can edit these if maybe something came to light later on or something was wrong and they did it in a bit of a haste. They can quickly change that, edit that, save that, and of course, do all that's needed. And then that completely comes into the back end for everyone there. Yeah, and then literally once that's done, then of course you can see it in the back end. So let me stop sharing my screen now.
And I guess I can then take over and
yeah, we can see how it looks in the back end. So I will stop sharing my screen.
Thank you. So now we are back in the incident report section, reporting section in the administrative app. Let me first point your attention to the active and inactive tabs that we have here. So these are a way to organize and better manage your incidents that have come in. So active tab, this includes all open incidents in reported, received, escalated statuses, and anything that you then close or reject goes to the inactive tab. Additionally, you can easily filter or search certain incidents here by name and reporter as an example. Or you can also sort incidents by severity, let's say, or status. You can see all the information in this table or open the incident up to see more details. But before that, let me also show I have this new notification now that a new incident was reported on a shift. And I have the same thing on email as well, because I have set up this notification for myself. Let's look at the incident that Liam just sent through. He did use a different alias account, so the reporter name is Aaron Smith. That is all fine and as planned. But here we have all the information that is reported. The status by default when it comes in comes as a reported incident. As I have seen it now, I can mark it as received so that anyone else looking at this page also knows that someone has already taken a look at this incident. We also have the severity that I can quickly change here. The category, if for some reason the employee accidentally mischose this, I can fix this information, and the incident date and time. Just to add, when reporting, then the incident date and time is automatically filled in by the time when the reporting is started. But then the employee can, of course, edit and even remove this if they don't know when the incident happened, like Liam showed us previously. We also have this information that we have added automatically, which is the reporter, their phone number, reported date and time, so when the first time the incident report was submitted, client and location information in this case. And I can also click open this information in one click. And the answers that Liam provided. I can add internal notes here as well. So these are visible to other managers. And I can say, for example, that I already talked to the client about this incident. So this is a good way to communicate internally about the steps taken with the incident to get this issue resolved. Additionally, you can see the photos that were added here. And if needed, you can still add additional photos later on as well. On top of that, you can edit all the reported information except the shift information, because that should be as it was reported. And basically make sure that even if information comes back later, you can still update this and have it all accurate. Finally, if you want to pass on this incident information to other stakeholders, or for example, the client, then you can easily create these PDF reports in one click that will include all the incident information, but not the internal notes that are only for you to internally communicate among yourselves. And then you can pass this PDF report to anyone whom it might be important to. And finally, another way to export this information is to a CSV here. If you want to get multiple incidents exported, maybe send all this information in bulk to a client, or analyze the incidents further, this is an easy way to do it. Export them to CSV, and basically you are free to do whatever you need with this information. If you apply any filters beforehand to the incidents, then we will only export the incidents that are visible on the screen at the moment. And that is basically it, simple as that. Liam, I'll pass the mic over to you to talk a little bit about the different use cases.
Perfect, thank you very, very much. So let me get the use case up. So So let me put it in present mode. Perfect. So yeah, the use case one. So we're just going to go through a different few use cases of, how and why some of these companies would essentially, use our incident module. So a mid-sized property management firm, what essentially they needed, instant access to submitted reports, external sharing with stakeholders, and audit readiness. So it's mid-sized property management company. They essentially oversee a range of, residential and commercial sites. Each location kind of sees regular maintenance issues and minor incidents. So on average, 2 a week. But obviously tracking and escalating these issues can still, and was a manual process. So currently at this place, on-site staff documents incidents and paper logs. These reports are often duplicated. So one copy for the site, one for headquarters, one for compliance or external use if needed. While this process technically, does meet requirements, the operations team often, does remain in the dark unless somebody actually physically delivers the report or communicates it directly. And the challenge with that is obviously, delayed visibility. So the primary issue isn't with staff performance. The staff are great and they do what is asked of them, but it's just about the flow of information. And especially with any kind of incidents, especially with the severity of them, it can be kind of, very time sensitive. So these incident reporters, they stayed at the site unless obviously someone took the active steps to move with them. And obviously with people with their main roles and jobs and responsibilities, this can create delays in response, follow-up, and communication with stakeholders. So supporting materials like, photos and videos often with that are often sent separately by email or text or WhatsApp. And as a result, reports and different related media, they can be hard to connect, harder to retrieve later. The risk isn't non-compliance, it's inefficiency, miscommunication, missed opportunities to spot patterns at certain locations, certain times, or specific staff or shifts. So kind of why the usability matters. So this company, they had tested digital tools before, but obviously adoption has always been a challenge, especially with staff and different ways to kind of do things. And most of the on-site staff weren't that tech savvy. And their roles didn't allow them time to kind of learn these complicated systems and different access rights and so on. So any new solution must be mobile first. Pretty much most people do kind of have access to smartphones these days or have somebody that has access to them. It needs to be frictionless and it needs to be able to integrate with their daily routines and not take up, too much of their actual day job. So of course, the key needs, apologies. The key needs, of course, were, instant access to submitted reports. So everyone, admin, site managers, clients, everyone within the chain essentially needed access to incident data without waiting for the paperwork to obviously be transported or scanned. External sharing, so whether that was legal, compliance, partnership reasons, they needed a simple way to send incident details, including supporting materials to third parties, and of course audit ready records. So especially in regulated environments, the ability to trace who knew what and when, of course, is essential. And of course, they needed clear data records for further analysis, and of course, pattern detection, which is massive, especially in secure areas. So the digital system could help them surface patterns like repeated issues at specific times. We all know, Saturday night at certain places, that high reporting of incidents or locations. So of course, they can plan ahead and not just react, which of course makes it all better for businesses, for staff, for clients, and every kind of stakeholder as well. So that's essentially why a company, very similar to that does and would need, incident reporting module. So the second use case we'll go on to is essentially a growing security firm. So essentially the problem, as you can see, it's fragmented reporting, delayed action. There was no single source of truth. It's hard to prove if protocol was followed, and of course missed patterns and resolution tracking. So a bit of background into this company. So as I mentioned, growing security firm, focused mainly on corporate offices and high-rise buildings. So while the guards are trained, they are reliable, they are doing their role to the best of their ability. Reporting varies, of course, by site and shift, and there's often the thing, it's always done in this way, and at certain sites there was no unified process, across the whole board. Some would fill out paper logs, others would text supervisors, maybe somebody would miss a text. A few would send emails from personal email addresses, and it was just all a bit messy, and often at different times, especially if it's in a role that requires intense activity. And of course, as we can imagine, this leads to missed updates during handovers, delayed awareness at HQ of especially those more serious issues, difficulty proving to clients if the protocols were followed, and of course, no easy way to track how incidents were resolved. So, of course, minor incidences like unauthorized visitors or suspicious behavior, they often fell through the cracks, while the major ones like fire alarm activations or any medical emergencies, or if any police or anything were called, they won't get escalated fast enough, which can, cause some serious issues there. So how the incident reporting feature did help them. So, a customizable form. Again, as we went through, the company can configure all the custom fields with custom categories and questions. This, of course, allows teams to, log a wide range of incidents from access control breaches to facility hazards, while, of course, aligning with internal workflows and compliance standards. Mobile-friendly reporting, of course, as you can see how simple and easy it is. Guards can report incidences on the go, right from the same mobile app they use to check in and out. So again, there's that one unified process that everybody knows how to use it. The reporting is integrated into their routine, of course, with the no need for calls or paperwork. Everything comes straight to head office and the operations team running it. The status and severity tracking. So each incident is marked with a severity level, as we saw, low, medium, and high. So the site managers and operations can see which issues are open, resolved, and if they do need escalation across all locations in real time. Very, very simply. So, of course, with the external PDF reports as well. So professional incident summaries can obviously instantly be generated and shared with their property managers, building owners, insurance providers. There's no more scanning notebooks. Everything is in the one place and easy to use and easy to track. The advanced management tools as well. So the operations teams can filter incidents by, the site, the type, the date. So there are a lot of incidences being reported, as small or as large as they can be. You can easily check these. You can add the internal notes. You can tag staff members if there is escalation that's needed and you need to speak with the staff members involved. It's very, very simple. And then, of course, you can export the clean CSV for, of course, internal, external review and any compliance reporting. So, of course, the solution and the impact. So visibility, speed, and professionalism. Of course, with the streamlined incident reporting, the company has seen major improvements. So operation is in the loop instantly. So there's no more waiting or traveling on site. Clients receive timely professional summaries of relevant incidents. Again, as we touched on the insurance, which is massive. Recurring patterns are easier to spot. Again, across all industries, this happens. You want to kind of have that pattern to be able to detect it and to minimize it, of course. Accountability has improved as well. So every report has a timestamp, synced shift info, and photo evidence where that may be needed. So everybody's kind of accountable. We know who, what, when, how, why with all these incidents. And what used to essentially be a chaotic, patchwork of updates, of course, is now a real-time, searchable, and structured source of truth, empowering both on-site teams and essential central operations. So yeah, again, very, very simple, obviously, to use for all types of different companies from there. So if we did want to, of course, we've spoken a lot and showed you how the platforms worked. And look, we saw a few questions coming in, but yeah, if anybody does have any questions or, does want to open the floor, feel free to ask us. If you wanted clarification on anything, then please, do let us know in the chat now. Share my screen. So here we go. So is there an additional fee to what, excuse me, to what we already ascribed to? So with the incident reporting, there is a free 1 month trial. Of course, everybody's on the different subscriptions and different packages with us. So yeah, if you speak to us, after this, you do get the 1 month free trial. Of course, we will, jump on and help you get set up and with those custom fields. And then yeah, there is a fee attached to it after the 1 month trial, which we can speak to your account manager in detail. So yeah, we can have the recording. So yeah, the recording will be sent out to everyone after this webinar, which we will send to everyone and get that sorted. So, can you change the incident report? Oh, apologies, I just missed that question. Can different incident types be assigned to specific team members can different incident types be assigned to
I can take that one. So
yeah.
There's a question about if different incident types can be assigned to specific team members for action. So at the moment, this is not possible, but like I said, you can control the notification settings, who should be notified by what, and not everyone anyway sees all incidents that are coming in. So you only see the incidents for the shifts that you also see. But this is great feedback, and we'll note this down as we get more feedback from you and hear more from you, we can better prioritize the next steps. So thank you.
Okay. So yeah, guys, look, as I mentioned, if you did have any other questions, as I mentioned, this webinar will be sent out to all of you. If you do have any questions, if you did want to get set up with it, of course, do reach out to us, do reach out to your account manager. Of course, there's support at parim.co. There's myself, there's Katy, and there's Kaori as well, or do go via the website or your account manager. And we'll be more than happy to kind of get you guys set up, have a conversation. And if you did want a personal walkthrough, show how it would work for your business, then of course, please do get in touch. But unless, Katy or Kaori had anything else that they wanted to add or anything.
I think we are all good. Thank you, Liam.
Perfect. Well, look, guys, if you have any, as I mentioned, any other questions or anything, thank you very, very much for joining us today. And yeah, hopefully you join us on the next one.